All right, everyone. Come on in, grab a seat. Welcome to the last session of the day. Thank you for hanging out with us. We really appreciate you. This one is the Controller Showdown. It's actually the Controller Showdown 2. This is our second one. We did one at our Controls Con in Dallas. Very popular event in Dallas we had. I myself, I'm Gus Border. I am the regional sales leader for Cochran Supply South. With me today is our timekeeper here, Mr. William Cooper. He is our area market leader for the South. Today, we have the no-holds-bar, action-packed Controller Showdown. During this showdown, we put our vendors up head-to-head and allow them to let us take a little peek into all of their best control line, their best controller, and the best features and stuff that they have. We're in the spirit of football and Super Bowl this week. We put on referee outfits. We noticed that this did get pretty competitive the last time we did it. So we are equipped with whistles and flags just in case our competitors get out of hand. All right. So, what's that? No, we don't take bribes. We don't take bribes because here at Cochran Supply, we are brand agnostic. So we represent every brand, a lot of brands that we represent. So we try to stay brand agnostic, just like our customers are brand agnostic, and we let them decide who is, just like the spirit of this competition. We want you guys at the end to decide what controller has the best features and outputs and stuff for your application. So at the end of this, we're going to have a QR code up there, and you're going to scan that QR code and vote for what vendor you think has the best applications that will fit your projects. And the winner of that will get the Controller Cup.
Ring girl.
And that is the Controller Cup 2. I will say the first one did have beer drinking out of it. It is possible that later on you might see pictures of that having beer in it as well. All right? So at this time, we're going to allow each one of our vendors here stand up or sit down, it don't matter, and introduce themselves. We'll start with Mr. Scott Schaefer and work our way back to me. Tell us a little bit about themselves, who they are, and how they represent their company.
Hi, Scott Schaefer, Director of Sales for the Western U.S. For Distech. I reside in Phoenix and been with Distech the last 10 years.
Hi, I'm Harun Rashid. I'm a Senior Business Development Manager for Phoenix Contact, responsible for building automation in smart cities. Been with Phoenix Contact 13, 14 years now. I look after the business development and product strategy for United States.
Hi, my name is Scott Holstein. I'm the Regional Sales Manager for ABB Central Region. I've been with ABB for just about 3 years now.
Hi everyone, Pavel Sharmansky. I'm Solution Product Manager at ISMA Controlli, and I manage our BMS system applications and products and our Niagara products.
Steve Hoffman, Honeywell, strategic account manager, Metro Detroit, been with Honeywell, I don't know, 20 plus years. Hard to keep track anymore.
Thanks, Steve. All right, you guys ready? On my whistle, when we call up our first contestant, we're going to have, on my whistle, we're going to have William start the clock. And each vendor is going to have 8 minutes, and 8 minutes only, to give their presentation on their products. So up first is ABB.
Scott. Come on, let's go.
Wait for whistle.
Louis Rob?
I was.
That's not competitive. So if you would have ran up, I would have had to put
What's the penalty for running?
The mic and the clicker, you're gonna do
No, this is great right here.
Okay.
So, let me change my agnostic hat. There you go. To my ABB hat. There you go. And on my whistle, are you ready?
Yes.
William, are you ready? Ready.
Hi, everyone. My name's Scott Holstein with ABB Building Automation. And tonight we're hosting a hospitality event with an open bar that you're all invited to.
Cannot bribe the crap.
Strong start, though.
Especially with alcohol. On my whistle, Scott, you may start again.
So now that I have your attention, I want to talk to you guys about the Building Edge and the Building Pro family of products that ABB is going to be launching later this year. So this is all really built around empowering building operators and integrators to deploy really solid solutions within small to medium-sized buildings, at least initially. As we go on, we're going to build on this, and you'll have more complex enterprise-level type of applications. But as it starts today, think about 10,000 points, 100,000 square feet, schools, government facilities, retail, kind of the more basic pieces that we're going to start with. And then again, as we go on, we'll get more detailed into what we can do. But let me first start with the building architecture of this. So there are four main components, starting with the building edge device itself. This is a powerhouse of device that has two RS-45 ports, two Ethernet ports, and functions as your automation engine, web server, and protocol router. So we can now route with this device BACnet IP, Modbus IP, Modbus RTU, KNX, MQTT, and LAN IP. One of the other unique things about this device is it hosts everything locally. So it hosts the database locally, it hosts the tool set locally, so there's no need for software on your PC to operate this system. The next component is a Building Pro editor, which is going to be your configuration device. This is also, like I said, natively embedded in the device. There's no purchase for our system integrators. It's right there. It enables our SIs to get in and out of jobs quickly by easily being able to upload database from our CX Pro software or in a CSV format to auto-populate your devices and points. The protocol integration in this is very simple. It's really just a matter of point mapping. And you have, of course, your templates for alarms, trends, and graphics for ease of engineering. You can control everything with this. So you think of ABB, we touch buildings in all of these different places, from ATS, automatic transfer switch, to switch gear, to drives. The whole vision of this is to be able to pull that ABB solution into one interface. The next component is Building Pro Vision, which provides you real-time visualizations, alarms, and streamlined scheduling. So this is going to be your operator front end. You have immediate access to this information without going through an external server. So again, that on-device piece is very important. We'll have an on-prem solution as well as a remote connection that I'll get into here shortly. We also have customizable organization and user roles. So starting from the top with a building owner who wants to see energy consumption, to a property manager or administrator that wants to get into maybe schedules and set points, and then your building engineer who you'll give a little bit more access to. This really runs the gamut and gives a customized view to every user through a single portal. And then finally is the Building Pro Connect. So this is going to be that remote, secure, cloud-based connection. You'll go to your ABB portal, log in as a system integrator. You have access to all of your sites from a single portal. You can push firmware, you can back up and restore databases from here. And it also offers the ability to debug a system, or debug a network from that remote connection. So as we start to really look for more programming talent and find ways to do this as much remotely as we can and not roll a truck out every time there's a call, this is going to become a really key component of that system for system integrators. For building operators, obviously there's the piece of this that is just simply being able to connect remotely and operate this system. From a security standpoint, we're going to employ some of the top-level security protocols that's really going to allow really non-IT people to deploy a really secure solution without that IT knowledge. And we're going to protect all of your data here with end-to-end encryption. So now I'm going to play a quick video that's going to give you a little bit better overview of what this looks like in application. Right, running out of time here. So again, just reiterating, we really are kind of building this around the idea of a truly smart building interface where we're not only touching HVAC, we're grabbing things like lighting, drives, EV charging, power distribution, and being able to build a really quick and simple interface for users to effectively use on-premise and remotely. As I mentioned, you can either come join us at the hospitality event tonight or at booth 675 to find out more.
Gus, we need a challenge flag. We need a challenge flag.
No challenge flag.
The roles were a single controller. Clearly in the roles.
All right. Up next is Honeywell.
Tough crowd.
On my whistle, bud. Yeah.
There's an on button. There's an on button.
Steve's gonna sing.
No, I can't. Does this work? Yeah, it works. I'm ready.
Mr. Clock Man? All right.
Thank you, Automated Buildings and Cochran Supply, for putting this on, and my fellow presenters. This is a great event. I'm Steve Hoffman, Honeywell. I already introduced myself, didn't I? I took a little bit different approach than Scott.
Stop the clock. What does that say up there, Steve?
Vote for Hoff. Or did you mean? Maybe you meant Honeywell?
No, vote for Hoff. Is that on every slide, Mr. Hall?
It's on every slide.
So he loses 10
Let's
seconds.
see a vote of hands if we should do a 10-second runoff.
That's worth it.
All right, on my whistle, sorry, Mr. Hoff, you did break the rule.
It doesn't say Hoffman. It says Hoff.
We know what you mean.
All right. So anyway, took a different approach than Scott. I've got a unitary controller here, a field controller. We got two sizes. We call it the optimizer unitary, small and large. Controlling fan coil units, air handling units, rooftop units, those kind of things, heat pumps. There's pretty cool features of this product. First of all, I/O. We have gotten rid of the analog in, analog out, digital in, because so many times as a contractor you get out there and, geez, I have this controller and I only have 6 of a type of point and I need more. So we got flexible I/O. Everything's universal I/O, but I do have relays. So the small one has 16 points, 8 universal I/Os, 4 solid state relays, 4 high voltage relays. Large one has 24. We also have a Modbus port on the device. So if I need to add points today, I can do up to 5 devices, 155 points off that Modbus subbus if I need expansion. This to me is a pretty big deal. Hopefully it makes sense to y'all. The resolution. So we've got 16-bit resolution on our inputs and outputs. Why is that a big deal? 65,000 increments on your input. You want tight control, I can give it to you. Most controllers are 12-bit, 4,000 increments. That's a big difference. So you want tight resolution, I can give it to you. A lot of sensors, full range. If you have a sensor that's not on this list, it's programmed in Niagara, so I can build a sensor Niagara, import it into the tool. Outputs, same kind of thing. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, we're trying to give you time saving. So if I have a milliamp input, I typically have to put a 500 ohm resistor across that input, right? Takes time. Oh gosh, the technician doesn't have any, got to run to Cochrane and get some, whatever. Time, money. We've embedded all the universal input points with a 500 ohm resistor. So when you download and commission, and if you have a milliamp point, that resistor gets activated automatically. Little time saver. Analog outs, same resolution. Digital outs I already talked about. 3 ways I can communicate to this thing, all BACnet. BACnet IP Ethernet, 10-100 meg. BACnet MSTP, slow, but I can do it. BACnet IP over T1L. If you haven't seen it and haven't heard it, please swing by booth 909. I talk about it all the time. I think our industry is moving that way, gentlemen. So what is it? It's BACnet IP over twisted pair wires. I can go up to 1 kilometer between devices. It's an IEEE 802.3 standard. So it's not something we created, it's something we went out and found. I think MSTP is going to go away. If I can do installation costs the same as MSTP and provide IP controllers, why would I put in a slow system? There you go. So that's available on it. The other thing we have is Silk, we call it, a sub-bus. I think most of my competitors have some kind of a sub-bus. You can put wall modules on it. The thing I like to talk about is we also have Silk actuators. A lot of people talking about fault detection and diagnostics. I can tell you if an actuator is going to fail, how much life it has left if you use Silk actuators. We have a built-in dashboard that you're seeing here. So it's starting to resonate out there. And there's another advantage to using Silk actuators. Typical air handling unit, 5 actuators, right? 3 dampers, hot water valve, chilled water valve. That's in its specification typically today needs feedback. So that's 10 points I'm eating up. 5 analog outs, 5 analog ins. If I use Silk actuators, I use 0 points. And I get the feedback, and I get to track these things and set an alarm when an actuator gets to 20% life remaining. I also get number of strokes per week averaged. You get it. It's in the system. Pretty cool feature. Programmed in Niagara. If you don't have a Honeywell Niagara, I can get a license. so that somebody who doesn't have a Honeywell Jace or supervisor can also put the tool and put Honeywell controllers under them. That's kind of nice for us. Anybody who's seen wire sheet programming in Niagara, that's the tool. Looks just like any other wire sheet. Also have master clone situation where, got a bunch of VAV boxes. I do a master template, download, commission everybody at the same time. I need to make a change. I mess something up. I go back to the master, tweak it, push everything back out. The controllers don't restart. They take it on the fly and keep going. I'm doing well. You could do a 10-second runoff. You should vote for Hoff. So we also have this in Bluetooth. See, you got to have fun. We also have it in Bluetooth, and we now have a wire checkout as part of the app that the Bluetooth will talk to. So now you don't need a full-on programmer to do the checkout. Make sure that actuators are moving and sensors are reading correctly and stuff. And then part of it, you can also get a report, and then shoot the report out to whoever needs the report. Same app is used. We have a VAV box controller as well. Oh God, that's the second controller. But it's so the same app is used for balancing. How do you think I won the first time, for God's sakes? So that's just some screens of the app. Why do I keep doing that? Come on, I'm trying to go back. Sorry. All right, that's the end. That's it. You got it.
I'll use your minute.
Thank you.
Extra points for the ISMA hat there. It's got a nice light on it. You're up next. Let's see if we can have a nice, clean, uncorrected one this time. I don't know. You don't know? Just throw the flag. I know, really. Are you ready? On my whistle, you guys ready? Ready, William?
So if you want a hat, come to our booth 369. So just short introduction about me. My name is Paweł Szarmański, and I'm based in a beautiful city of Gdańsk in Poland. So Poles are known for their hospitality. So whenever you're in the city, the dinner is on me.
That's close.
That was good. So, just a brown slide. So what I love about Gdańsk is just by the seashore, so I can go running with my dog every time I want.
Wow!
All right. I'm 7 years with ISMA Controller. I started as technical engineer, and I'm in the product management. So for some of you that doesn't know the company, ISMA Controller, we are based in Europe, so we have 85 years of experience there. We started as an engineering company of valves and actuators, but now we are 15 years in business for the BMS products, and we especially focus on products all around Niagara. So we actually provide products powered by Niagara since 2009. We started as Tritium distributor in Poland, but then we quickly moved as an OEM, developer, and portability partner. And in 2023, we started our US operations with Steve Fay as the president of the ISMA Control US. So you may know him for his days at Tritium, where he ran as a president from 2006 to 2012. So about the company, we have a manufacturing plant in Gdańsk, where I live, where we do the controllers, and another one in Genova, where we do the valves and actuators. Now I want to tell you about our system architecture. So all our supervisory software is based on Niagara. We focus on buildings from smart to large. We do all of them, but we especially focus on small and medium-sized buildings. with our master application controllers called Mac36, which put full stack Niagara into the compact housing with 36 IOs on board, which can easily expand with our range of multi-protocol IO modules. And actually, for this controller, we won the AHR Expo 2022 Innovation Award for the best building automation product. Going further, we have HMI panels that are great for integration of any IP-based controllers in your buildings. So you can go with any IP-based controller, really. It integrates all of them, and it facilitates easily displaying the visualization from the web server. And what we'll focus today the most is our unitary controllers. So we have a range of rooftop application controllers, Racket in IP, and our brand new product that we're just launching to the market, VV14 IP, together with the control point wall panel sensor. So those products, they're based on our software platform called Nano Edge Engine. But before we go there, I want to tell you a fun fact about Polish schooling system. So instead of A+, we got 6. So now I will tell you 6 facts about our products, why they're so unique, in the next 6 minutes. So, that'll go fast. So, Nano Edge Engine is an ultra-wide software platform that we put into our controllers. Some key features of that: freely programmable. You can run multiple applications in time cycles, up to 100 milliseconds. I don't go too technical, but you can control lights, HVAC, multiple applications on those controllers. They're native with BACnet. They're modular with libraries, license-free, so there's no license for those controllers. They're only limited with the number of data points you can expose. We have free-of-charge tools, and we constantly update those controllers, and we put a lot of improvements to them. And what we just recently put in the market is programming through 2 tools. We have our own IC tool, which you can use. It's free of charge, but we also enable it with Niagara programming. So there's a Niagara expansion for those controllers where you can access the wire sheet on the controller and build the application. But at the same time, you can use the second tool, which is free of charge, and you can see exactly the same wire sheet on in the second tool. So it's freedom of choice for you. The second feature is accessibility. So our controllers can not only be accessed over IP connectivity, but we have also built in USB-C port, which allows you to power up the controller and also program it directly through the USB in Niagara IC tool. So we emulate the static IP port in that. So with just one cable, this is actually my picture from flying from Frankfurt here. I was just trying out our new VV application on that controller. Another cool feature is built-in fail-safe switch, so we can pass through the communication between the controllers. There's 2 IP ports. They are working in a fail-safe switch, so even there's no power on the middle one, the IP communication goes through. Then there's the expandability. So our products can be easily expanded with a range of I/O modules, and we have a lot of them. I mean a lot. And wall panels with sensors. So we have a range of 22 I/O modules for RS-485 and IP architecture, from 4 inputs and outputs up to 38. And you can really use them on BACnet and Modbus, both IP and RS-485. So you can really go with our controllers, but you can easily expand any controller with those remote IOs. And then the wall panels. So you have built-in free sensors, temperature, humidity, and CO2, BACnet MSTP, and Modbus RTU there. And they're plug-and-play with our controllers. So there's a smart plug that you can power them and go with the communication. But it can also daisy chain those panels, up to 5 of them, and they can be powered like that from our controllers. So the feature number 5 I want to share with you is that we work with any Niagara workbench. So our modules are released within our IC workbench package, but you can also get them with our IC Niagara expansion pack. And they are license-free, so we can just take our expansion programming module for Niagara, for the nano controllers, drop it into any workbench, and basically use it for programming. We don't really license it. So we have this freedom of choice of the workbench. You can get ours, but we are open to work with any. And then there's easy access to our software, documentation, knowledge base, and e-learning platforms. So what we feel is very important is to make the learning curve for new product as little as possible. So we share with you a lot of tools that are free, easily accessible without any additional logins, and just gives you all the knowledge you need. So you can go into our knowledge base. You have all the manuals in an easy manner with a quick search function that you can use on your phone or wherever you are in the world where you have an internet connection. Our IC Connect is all-in-one client platform that combines all of our software into one place, and you can really easily find the right software for the right product in one place. And our e-learning platform is available for free as well, so please go elearning.ismacontrolling.com and learn something about our products. So, yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Nice job. Thank you. Well, that was good. That was right on time. Whoop. One of my hats jumped off there. Next up, we have Phoenix Contact.
Here, let's switch it over.
Not Phoenix's fault, so I can't blame you. And I'm not allowed to blow the whistle on our own employees.
It's just.
Thank you.
Ready?
So I'll start there.
Ready?
Yes. Okay, great. Thank you very much, Gus. Again, for those who didn't understand, my name is Harun Rashid with Phoenix Contact. So today, we're talking about the new Catan controller. Most of you who have seen our previous controller, ILC 2050, which was modular with Slice I/O. This has timed? So, okay. Okay, so today we're talking about this new product that we have launched. It's called Catan Controller. It is a brick style, and it is also Niagara controller. So any workbench that you have, it will program with that. The big features that it brings in, it's a very compact design, and as you can see here, we have so much of connectivity on this, so this will be going to be a challenge. It has 3 managed ports.
Time out.
Animation, I think we have to cancel the animation.
We got a commercial timeout.
Let's see the trophy again, ring girl.
Do we have country marker?
Just save it as a PPTX. Save as.
I think Hoff did something too when he was there.
I did not.
Oh. So vote for half. Properties. So I can keep it. It's okay. Okay. Okay, great. Thank
back
you.
in.
So back to the presentation. Very, very compact, high-density I/O device. We have actually a unique feature on this one that you haven't seen quite often yet. It is a removable display. and I'll talk about that more in detail. We have Niagara, all the 16 or so protocols, and there are a couple of protocols that are dedicated to Phoenix Contact. So that is all part of it. A lot of connectivity on this device. Very exciting. This has 3 Ethernet ports. Most of the controllers have 2. And these 3 Ethernet ports are gigabit managed switch. So that's a very, very powerful feature to have. It is 62443 compliant, 1.6 gigahertz. And another thing I want to mention is, just like the ILC 2050 controller, this is also UL 508. The new standard number is 61010. So this is, I wrote a white paper on comparing UL 916 with the UL 508, if you want to download that. UL 508 is a very large standard, and 916 really is a subset of it. So this controller can go from room automation to many other applications also on your factory floor. The product itself, let me go straight to 1.6 gigahertz quad-core processor, and it has 1 gig of RAM. Okay, so it will continue. I can keep on going back, it's all right. Yeah. I get 2 grace minutes. Yeah, it has 8 gig of embedded memory card, so that makes it a very powerful device memory-wise. It also has a port for a micro USB port, and the 3-port Ethernet gigabits. That adds real value. You see, you have a 3-port managed switch right on board. The RS-485 ports are basically for your BACnet MSTP and Modbus RTU. It also has a KNX port. You know, we make product for global use. So KNX is becoming popular here in the United States, but it is quite popular in Europe and other countries. So we have a standard KNX port on the controller itself. The touch screen, it's a full color, I think. Yeah, so you can see that this is a full color touch screen display. All the IOs are visible on the screen when you have it on. The 14 IOs are actually 16 amp value, so they are universal. The inputs can be configured as digital, or you can add RTU, or you can have 0 to 10 volt, or you can have 0 or 4 to 20 milliamp ports. So these are all configurable ports. 8 universal inputs, and then, of course, we have an expansion module that is right here that has additional 14 ports. Those 14 ports are also configurable. I'll come to this feature in a minute. The display, you will see that this display can go on the I/O module or here, and then this can go also on the control panel. So if you want to protect your controller, you don't want anyone messing with the controller or the station, you can mount this display. We have a USB-C cable that you can mount it remotely on the cabinet door, and you can have all the data visibility, but nobody can access the controller itself. Single pair Ethernet, this is a unique case. We have wired it actually, so we can have, because you know it's T1L, single pair Ethernet, all the expansions, so this is the first use case we have, all the expansion module, and you can have up to 16 extension modules. That's a pretty big rack via single pair Ethernet. And these, because it's T1L, you can mount them, although T1L says up to 1 kilometer, but with this we say, because they're analog IOs, their power consumption, so we recommend 1,000 feet apart. Now you can imagine there are remote drops, same processor, but remote drops from this building to the next room, and you can have your local IOs and being controlled by the same controller. So it's a very powerful controller, very compact device. This is only 4.24 inches by 3.5 inch. So in this size, you can imagine how much panel space you can save. So it's a very, very compact device for the power it has. 1.6 gigahertz, I think that's one of the fastest in the industry today. So with that said, so I don't know where I am on time. Again, we developed it as a building automation, room automation controller, right? All means it can do all that. But with the capabilities, UL 508 or 61010, or all the expansion capabilities that you have, you can manage data centers. We have a great interest from data center companies, so this is a great opportunity if you want to have connectivity and a very, very reliable certified ULC 508 product for data centers, for hospitality, for healthcare, airports. So this product has a play. So if you play in any of those areas, please stop by at our booth. It's 274. We are in the control area. So stop by, we can talk more about it. If you have any questions, we also have brochure and other literature for you. If you want it, we can give you that as well. Again, this is the new controller that we wanted to introduce. I hope you like it. One more thing that I want to say is that we have also DALI module coming out this year, which will be DIIA, DALI 2 certified. So for lighting automation, if you are using DALI, we will have that functionality as well. Thank you. Now you can go on. I don't know what happened. Yes. Thank you very much, everyone.
All right, up next is DizTech, and don't be surprised if I have to throw the flag and the hat.
At least you saved the best for last, Gus.
No flags.
No flags. It's a clean run.
Do you want the podium mic or the hand mic?
Just use the arrow. Okay. We ready?
I'm born ready.
On my whistle stop. Remember, I've got my hat.
I'm ready. All right, I'm going to not only tell you about the best controller in the industry, but give you guys a quick education. The Eclipse product line we came out with 10 years ago at AHR in 2015. Anybody that knows DizTech knows that's the launch of the IP revolution. We started this 10 years ago. I'm following the rules and not talking about the whole Eclipse line, even though I'd love to. I'm actually going to talk about a single controller because that's what the rules were. So I had to pick a controller. It's not even our most recent controller, but the Apex controller we brought out about 2 years ago is still the most amazing controller in the industry. I'm going to explain that to you in the next few minutes. What does an Eclipse Apex controller do? It's the most powerful controller in the industry, the smoothest for integration, has embedded software tools I'm going to explain to you that make it so much more elite than anything else you're going to see in the industry. Just going through the specs real quick. Microprocessor is a quad-core 1.6 gigahertz processor, 3 USB ports, 2 gigabyte speed on a network, very secure WPA2 encryption, secure by design, etc. 32 gig of memory. We even have a TensorFlow AI chip built into this thing. So hardware-wise, software-wise, just an amazing industry leader controller. What you really have to understand about the Apex that really offsets it is it's the speed of a PLC controller. It's 10 times faster than our Gen 1 controllers, which were 100 times faster than MSTP. Steve had referred to MSTP being the old slow controls. People are still installing that stuff, which is amazing. When you see the difference, it's just amazing. The inputs and outputs, obviously 320 inputs and outputs on a single controller, 96 Modbus devices, et cetera. So this controller just packs a lot. Super powerful, amazing controller. What really differentiates it is this one controller really bridges the OT world and the IT world. And this is what we're educating people on. All of us that have been in the industry the last 2 decades, we all know the OT world. We all know BACnet, we know LAN, we know MSTP, we know in-ocean wireless, we know all this, Modbus, et cetera. What a lot of people in the automation industry still don't understand is the IT side of the world. What is Docker? What is REST API? What is MQTT? So what I'm going to do is educate you for a few minutes, just so you got to understand that side of the business to understand why this controller is so amazing. What's an API? Application Programming Interface. You guys are probably already familiar with this. It's a way of different software systems talking to each other to explain how an API works. I'm going to actually use a restaurant. So think of a restaurant. You sit down, you're the patron. You look at the menu. That's your app. That's your interface. That app interface, which is the menu, is what tells you what's available in that kitchen at the restaurant. The waiter is your API. So the waiter's going to come to you, take your exact order the way you want it, go to the kitchen, deliver it exactly the way you want it. That's basically what an API does. So think of it as like a restaurant. I'm ordering something just exactly to my specification of what I want. Kitchen's going to prepare it exactly that way. The API brings it and delivers it to me. Here's some great examples of APIs you guys all use daily. Google Maps, social media, weather. Everybody uses weather APIs in their programming now. So that's just one of the many features that is enabled by using the Apex controller. Now I'm going to explain Docker containers to you. How many of you even know what a Docker container is? Let me see some hands. Okay, that's great. So obviously this is the IT world. This is what software guys do programming in. When we brought out the Apex 2 years ago, everybody was like, what do we do with this in the automation industry? Well, I'm going to explain that to you, and I'm going to do it by baking cookies. So think about baking cookies, and what you need for that is your recipe, your ingredients, and the right tools to do it if you want them to come out right. Now think about I'm going to make those in somebody else's kitchen. So again, you want to make sure they come out and the consistency's right. You want right ingredients, right recipe, etc. So think of a Docker container as like a portable kitchen. You carry everything you need in to bake those cookies, make sure the consistency it comes out right. You include the right recipe, which is your application code, the ingredients, which is your libraries, the tools. You know every time it's going to come out consistent, and that's what this does for you. You put it in a Docker container, you got the consistency, no matter whose computer, who's doing it, you know it's going to come out right. So think of those cookies always come out the right way. Efficiency, always going to be efficient, carrying the whole kitchen. And, you know, if you had to carry your computer around instead of just think of a lunchbox, you know, as far as carrying the tools around. And then very shareable, so portable kitchen for anyone, any place, always going to come out consistent. Real world examples, you guys all use Netflix or Spotify. You know, that's some great examples of you always get the exact same service no matter what device you're using. So that gives you kind of an example. I like to think of a Docker container as like a to-go lunchbox. Holds everything you need for that meal, software, everything you need for that, the consistency, any destination, it's going to come out the same. All right, so when we talk about the Apex controller, keeping to the rules, I'm talking about our controller. Obviously, we explained you know, the features of what I can do with the software side. REST API, explained that, the Docker. Now I'm going to explain Node-RED to you. What is Node-RED? It's a powerful visual programming tool used to connect hardware devices, APIs, online services. What's really cool about this, it's free. It's online. It's pull it off the web. You can actually do a simple application like this. You could buy a Shelly plug on Amazon, go to the Node-RED site, pull up, it's already pre-programmed for you, pull that in, pull it into a Docker container. You've actually now modify it. You've got a automated plug that you could plug something in to think of a drinking fountain in a school or something. You plug that in, now I can time schedule that based on occupation, whatever you want to do, occupancy, et cetera. So now we've explained Dockers, I've explained the Node-RED. Let's talk about MQTT. MQTT as far as, what is MQTT? Message querying telemetry. So just by the transport, it indicates it's a protocol, very reliable, very efficient, moving messages from one to another. MQTT is specifically designed for lightweight and efficient. Think of a group text chat. You've all done that, where everybody sends messages into a group text chat, sending messages to each individual person. You post them, group chat. Anyone interested in a certain topic reads that. MQTT kind of works that way. MQTT helps the devices communicate, such as small lights, cameras, et cetera. Coffee pots, it doesn't matter. What it does for you is it coordinates for you. So I'm going to use the post office as an example of MQTT, just to make sure you kind of understand this. Devices that get sent are like a letter writer, writing a message. Devices that are received are like you opening your mailbox and receiving a message. The post office is what organizes all that together. So you make sure everything's getting in the correct place. And then think of address labels in the mail, but in MQTT world, we call it topics. So a weather sensor might be sent as a topic called home, weather, temperature. So in 5 slides, I kind of showed you how MQTT works. If you think of a post office, you've got a device sending, somebody receiving, the organization, making sure it gets to the correct spot. That's how MQTT works as far as transporting information, data. That's what it's all about. Thermostats is a great example. You listening to a podcast, another example of how MQTT works. You see this in smart homes, healthcare, transportation. You guys see it all over the world, whether you realize it or not. Very lightweight, flexible. I'm flying because of the time guys here. Just a couple more examples, and the reason why I want you to understand this is to understand the power of the Apex. The simple application I use for a Shelly plug, use a Node-RED in a container, use an MQTT, pull it in the GFX software, which is our software in every controller. I can now program that to do anything I want to do. So summing up here, Distech Apex controller, because of all the IT features of it that I've just hopefully explained to you in 5 minutes. I'd love to have more time, but anyways. I wanted to explain that that is the big differentiator that makes the Apex controller what it is. It's the most powerful, most open, most future-proof controller. You can't even compare. I mean, it's almost not fair to these guys, but it's a single controller. Thank you.
Well, thank you all for a great job you did. I didn't throw the flag as much as I thought I was going to throw it. So are we going to post the QR code up here so you guys can all vote? Get your phones out. Get ready.
Can we vote?
Yeah, we vote too, right?
Anybody in the room can vote. Anybody in the room can vote. Don't make me throw the flag on the crowd. That's not nice. Oh, look at all the phones up. Let me smile first. There you go. And you can check it on Automated Buildings later around 6:30 or so. That's where you'll see the results of your vote. Did everybody get that? Do you need to walk up and get a closer picture? Go for it. Nope. All right, we got done a little early. Normally we'll ask questions, but you know what? It's probably time to go drink. So why don't you all get out of here early and go drink?